Hi, guys. Welcome to the Pain to Power podcast. I'm your host, Justin Banks, and I'm so excited to finally get started on this journey with you all. I've been working on this for a long time, and I will be honest, it has been frustrating trying to get this done. I have been confused at times. I've been tired. I've been angry. You can say there's definitely been a little painful just trying to get this podcast on the right track and make it the most effective. Now, through a lot of prayer and a lot of meditation, I finally feel like I'm doing this podcast the right way. And the right way is not my own. I'm doing this God's way. And I feel like I'm on the path that He has created for me. And this podcast will benefit all of us. Now, this podcast is definitely for you. I wanted to use the gifts given by God to me and create something inspirational. I want you to listen to this message and feel powerful. I want your thoughts to be provoked and I want your emotions stirred. Through my words and your listening, I hope to create connection. You may have had a tough day on your hands, but after listening, you can feel like you can take it on and fight. You might have a challenge today, but after listening, you'll feel as if there isn't a challenge or threat that is big enough, strong enough, evil enough that can destroy yourself or your spirit. We're going to do this together. Now, what made me call this the Pain to Power podcast? I thought of a lot of different names, but what made me choose this? Well, first, let's talk about what pain is. What pain do I speak of? I'm talking about losing loved ones. Maybe you had a parent that wasn't there and that still affects you. Or you're dealing with mental health challenges like anxiety and depression, sicknesses that try to make your mind and the very essence of who you are go away. Have you been attacked physically, whether through disease or through assault and harm? Are you living in what I call the consequences of poverty, fighting to make ends meet with bills and putting food on you and your family's plate? And I have not even mentioned this awful coronavirus that we as a world are battling today. It first began with us asking who has this virus. No one does. It isn't that serious. Life isn't that bad. And now many of us know someone who has either had this awful disease or even knows someone who has transitioned from it. This, to say the least, is what I mean by pain. We all have different forms of it, but the trajectory of our life is all about how to deal with the issues life brings us. Many of us grew up watching the people around us handle pain certain ways. We saw some people take our pain to the bottle or to the needle. We inflict our own pain on our partners and loved ones, following the shadow that maybe the generation before left for us. It is easy to recycle and live with that dark cloud because it seems familiar. It is difficult to believe that happiness actually exists. How can I know how to love when I haven't seen it done successfully? How can I live a healthy life when I've seen so many family members gone way too soon from so many physical ailments, illnesses, and strain? When we grow up this way, it's easy to believe that life is a no-win situation. So I examined this and I think about my own life and I wondered, where does the switch happen? What is the point of living if it's just going to be a life with strife? Is sadness supposed to be every chapter of my book of life? I had to do some soul searching and go deep in my spirit and examine life, God, and His power. During some bad times in my own life, I had to understand that even in my worst moments, I was still getting up every day. In more specific terms, I was being blessed with another day. In more specific terms, I was being given a gift of life, and a gift of a life to live. And the truth is that every time we're given this gift, it means that we have purpose. And in these uncertain times, I don't know when my last day is coming. So I want to work through hell and high water to fulfill the destiny that God has given me. If you want real truth, the truth is that there is no pain stronger than God's purpose for you. And when you are on His path, not the one you want for yourself, the right changes happen. If we stay on the path that we want to be on, our path in the flesh may have a lot of pride, jealousy, or greed, constantly comparing yourself to other people in their own path. The path that God has set for you will give you the resources to pursue and persist until you prosper. When pain and hatred are in control, it makes your body literally poison, sickening you to death. God can use your pain and use your life's test and create testimony. Hardship might be your foundation. It might be the root to the plant that is your life, but under an Almighty's care. That root that was once damaged can still bear fruit. Follow me on this example that I'm going to give you now. Usually when someone dies, they either are buried or cremated. I was reading about an alternative when you are literally buried into this dirt-like pod, but as the body decomposes and combines with the dirt, that pod can eventually grow and become a tree. Now think about that. There is a lot of sadness when losing a loved one. But this example is part of the essence of this podcast. Unfortunately, People die, opportunities die, and it saddens and angers us. But rather than handling this pain the same way, you can follow an alternative path that can generate new life. We will use our path to create positive thoughts and decisions in our present in order to change the trajectory of our future. Now, I've been trying to stay in the Bible and learn, and it is not easy, but I am certainly trying. I was reading Isaiah chapter 53, and to summarize, Isaiah talks about the sufferings Jesus endures during his crucifixion. People that once loved him abandoned him as soon as the trouble came. And through that trouble, Jesus was beaten and humiliated. Now, rest assured, Jesus felt a lot of pain on the day of his crucifixion. There was physical pain, but imagine the emotional toll that was put on him as he was hated by others and abandoned by people that he loved. There are lessons in this. First of all, if Jesus went through pain, best believe there's going to be a pain for all of us. God sent his only begotten son, knowing what he was going to experience. So best believe there will be strife that we will experience as well. But you have to understand the context of Jesus' crucifixion. His pain was meant for our salvation. His pain was meant to give us power. And if we are individuals created in God's image, our pain is meant for our salvation as well. So if things are easy forever, you will not receive true liberation, peace, and joy. So see pain as a connection with God and use it for your own salvation. I'm not saying it's easy, but I am saying it's possible. It has happened before, and it will happen again, and it will happen with you. So I want to end this episode with the Pain to Power quote from Canadian poet Shane Coychin. He says, if your heart is broken, make art with the pieces. He's asking you to turn what you've been through into beauty. This is just the beginning of a long journey filled with love. So God bless you, and may you be powerful.